If I got a story to tell you today, you guys want to see it. This let's get down on the map here. This is well, this is Judah and those with him, if you follow me. But Israel at one point, well, let's stick with Judah. They were carried away to Babylon, and they got to return to Jerusalem and rebuild. Judah and Israel had split apart. Right, and they became two nations with two kings, and Assyria carried all Israel away that was here, and they went up to the Caucasus Mountains. That's the Caucasus Mountains, the Caucasians even some call them, and they were taken over the Caucasus Mountains in chains. All right, where's my, what do we got up here? This, well, let's stick. We know some of them were set free at this point in here. This is like Georgia. This is where the last Russian war or something was. Devastating whole places. This is, my gosh, we got all kinds of wars going on. But some were set free and they went this way, right? As long as they didn't return. And they became like white peoples over in Tibet and Asia and China and stuff. They're still tracking, and these Israeli and Jewish customs that remain. The rest of them went up in here, and where did they go to go east? They took them to Ukraine, right? And we know the war is going to proceed because this is the war to bring them home. All these nations are getting devastated, right? I mean, here's your Caucasus Mountains again. This is where they crossed. This is where they were taken in their chains. Now, to me, I mean, I don't know, not to get into this, what the Russians are going to do for this offensive, but they keep, you know, they say a lot of things. They need to just shut them down right there, straight across, and shut this whole border down is my think of what's going to come. They're going to have to come up through here, maybe, to Transnistria, and cut this whole section off. Odessa, if you remember Odessa from your ancient Greek textbooks, and the things that happened there. But what comes next? Where's the path of destruction? Because we know these people, right? They made it all the way across there. We can't see the mouse again now, right? But some of them, you know, it's hard to say there. Most of them went this way. They're going right into Poland next. Maybe some were shipped down here towards, you know, and off to, but no, they came and became the UK, right? We don't know what people used to be there. They're gone. And others, they recognize this as Manasseh. That's a long story. The world actually recognizes all this as Ephraim. But the blessing of Ephraim and Manasseh, if you remember, Jacob switched his hands around, and Joseph says, not so, this is the oldest. Manasseh was the oldest. And Jacob says, I know, but the younger shall become bigger, and he shall become stronger, and he shall break their yoke. What was the yoke we broke? The Revolutionary War. These Ephraim and all Israel came up through here, and this is the path they took all the way to the UK and off to the Americas, right? Others that were sent down in here were like, you know, they were even sold off as slaves and everything to the nations. But the path of destruction, they're going to cut this border off somehow. But the next destruction comes right here. Poland. If the war continues, if we can't get a peace treaty somehow, somewhere, you know, leave the Russians stuck here, or, you know, are they going to advance up to here? Right? Because this is Belarus. This is, well, Romania's down here, and Romania's against them too, feeding stuff like Poland. There's a chance Poland, Romania, UK, and America, the war of the willing, are going to try to move in here and secure eastern Ukraine too. I wouldn't put it out if we go out much farther. But that was, and well, to go on with the history lesson, the Israelis, right, all Israel, all the people carried away captives up over the Caucasus Mountains and considered Caucasians still to this day, all Israel, you know, that's the path they took. So that's where destruction should be coming, right? If this is set out, we go back here, if we go back to where the rest of this was, that's all been gone to destruction too. Right? The Assyrians came down in here, and you can't see that, but this is all Israel. Right? And this is where Israel basically was. And they were all carried away by the Assyrians. All of this up in Turkey is gone, just like Syria. It's just desolated. Iraq, in these areas where the Kurds are. This whole Kurdish area is why they're destroying it, and why Iran over here is destroying it. But it's because the Israelis were carried up over them Caucasus Mountains and became, you know, the so-called Caucasians, carried over the Caucasus Mountains in chains. Well, where did they go? See, okay, there's Poland. See, right after Ukraine, Poland, Germany, poof, all the way to the United Kingdom. Right? And biblically, they're Manasseh. If you read, and Ephraim's over that way, you know, they just kept moving of what's and how this war could play out. But I would suggest if we go that far, it's probably Germany and Poland and UK and America. I don't know what to say. Just gets bad. Keep in prayer and pray for Jerusalem, because this is all happening because Jerusalem is becoming under siege. As the nations all turn, you've read this, as the nations, you know, turn against Jerusalem and the nation, Judah, you know, and get this big Joel 3 war going, or, you know, Psalm 83. The rest of this is coming, all their brothers, which would be even bigger, you know, that we could be on a 3 or 4 front war here with China, with Iran, with Korea's, with, you know, the evil ones in Africa just killing Christians down there. Who's going to save them Christians? You know, we need to keep all this in prayer. And the UK too. I mean, they're on our side. That's like our brothers over there too. Australians are part of this somehow too. They're part of all Israel too. Don't think they're not.